Well, happy Thursday night to you guys, and the NBA gods or NBA script writers, whatever you want to call them, they gave us the best 2 words in all of sports. Game 7. A lot of people fired up about this. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us after the game, and welcome to a special edition of Toyota Sports Extra. I am Kevin John.
And I'm Matt George. We get one more. We get one more game for all the marbles. OKC, Indiana in OKC, but that's Sunday. Let's talk about what Indiana did tonight, because it was incredible.
It definitely was incredible. Let's get to those highlights right now. Let's head out to Indianapolis. Game 6 of the NBA Finals. And come on, guys, did we really think Tyrese Haliburton was going to sit this one out? Ain't no calf strain going to keep Haliburton from bowling. Early on, though, it was OKC who came out and delivered a punch. The Thunder started the game on a 10-2 run. Jalen Williams picked up right where he left off in Game 5. J-Dub led all scorers at the half with 16. That was actually all the points he had the whole game. From there, it was all Pacers. Haliburton pulls up from Fort Wayne right here. Now, the Pacers would go on a 17-2 run in the second quarter to really bust this one open. Check this out with 45 seconds left in the first half. Haliburton with the no-look pass to Pascal Siakam. And Siakam baptizes Jalen Williams. That was so good, we gonna show it to y'all again. You see the pass right there, and Jalen Williams, you have just been put on a poster. My goodness, Pascal drinks milk. All right, well, the Pacers led 64-42 at the half. They outscored the Thunder 36-17 in the second quarter. By the time the second half of this game came around, pretty much OKC was on life support. The Pacers were able to finish with the blow. Now, Pascal Siakam had 16 points, 3 rebounds. Tyrese Haliburton, who didn't play a lot in the second half, he had 14 points and 5 assists. And the team high, Obi Toppin, off the bench with 20 points. Now, Jalen Williams and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander only combined for 37 points. You guys saw how this one ended. The Pacers go on to mollywop the Thunder 108-91, and Indiana lives to fight another day. I can watch that dunk all day right there. But who we can also watch, joining us on the desk right now, you see a very special person. If you've been watching or listening to Sacramento Kings sports over the last 20 plus years, you definitely know who this guy is. You hear him on the radio 1320, and we're blessed to have him in the studio with us right now. Joining us, the one and only James Ham is here.
What's going on, guys? I don't usually come all the way down to Hill to hang out.
He did. He came all the way from Lake of the Pines to be here with us tonight, to be here for you guys. So, you know, James, I would have preferred for you to come on a day where we maybe had a little more competitive game, but to say the least, Indiana, obviously, they knew what was at stake. Their backs are against the rope. It's literally win or go home for you. They decided they were not ready to go home and got the job done in emphatic fashion.
Yeah, this is the best of all possible worlds for the Pacers, right? Not only did you survive this game and you push to a Game 7, but also Tyrese Haliburton is able to hold up. We're all worried about this calf strain. You didn't know if he was going to play or not today. He goes out there, he plays 23, 24 minutes. You didn't even really need him in the second half, which is absolutely spectacular. He'll be ready for Game 7. And, you know, I think all of us were a little concerned about a potential Achilles tear or something like that. He looked great and was able to help his team come up with a huge win.
James, we watched in that first quarter, OKC got off to a strong start. It looked like they were setting the tone. I was really impressed on how it was the other guys with the Indiana Pacers that really got that going, from Nesmith to Nembhard to, of course, TJ McConnell's been all over the place in this series with just, I mean, you can see the steal right here that he had to set up the three. Obi Toppin has been phenomenal. How big of a benefit of it? We could talk about this aspect of both these teams, but how big of a benefit is it to have such deep rosters to where, with Tyrese being banged up, Pascal Siakam not having the ball in his hands at all times, to have this depth that can carry you through in a Game 6 must win?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's the difference between the Knicks being in the finals and the Pacers. The Knicks just never had the depth that we see from this Pacers team. It's really interesting, too, what we're seeing. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they have this incredible depth as well, but their depth is so defensive. It's on the defensive side of the ball. With the Indiana Pacers, they have, 4 or 5 guys that can come off the bench and hit you for 20, and 1 or 2 that might even be able to get 30. And so what that does is it makes it really difficult to isolate one player that you're going to focus on and take away, which is what Indiana's been trying to do with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They focus all of their defense on him, and they've been able to limit him. Sure, Jalen Williams has had some nice moments. They've had some other players step up and have big moments. But without your superstar coming up with 35, 40 points a game, it makes life really, really difficult.
I'm glad you referenced that as well, because Jalen Williams had that breakout game in Game 5, 40 points that game. Combined tonight between him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they combined for 37, which is less. Jalen scored more than that all by himself in Game 5. So when you have that two-headed monster of OKC, Jalen and SGA, knowing at any given time both of those guys can go out, set the tone, and be that offensive burst off the bench, what was it that Indiana did so well to contain both of those superstars tonight?
Well, I think a lot of it is they just got rattled. That's what it looked like, to be honest with you. Chet Holmgren has been the third of their trio, their offensive trio throughout, not just the series, but the playoffs. He has not played well at all. In this game, he got blocked early. We saw it in the last game, too, where he faded late in the game. And so you need all 3 of these guys to really step up. And the fact is that without Shai going for 30-plus, you're going to be in trouble if you're OKC. They don't have the depth of scores that we're seeing from a team like Indiana. And on top of that, look, I think what we're going to see in Game 7 is just fireworks. Everything is going to be thrown out. We have no idea what possible outcome will be. But this has been a great, great series. And if you're not tuning in because it's small market teams or something like that, that's on you. That's your bad. If you're an NBA fan, this is spectacular basketball from start to finish.
Well, and a big part of what's been spectacular about these playoffs has been Tyrese Haliburton specifically. You talk about the game winners that he's hit and the moments that he's had. But where does coming out and having the performance like this with the hamstring, this is an injury that you've witnessed firsthand have catastrophic issues in the NBA Finals. So you know how bad an injury like this can be or what it can turn into. For Tyrese to essentially go out there and within minutes, we weren't thinking about the injury anymore.
Yeah, so the calf is it's everything for an NBA player. The calf is what supports the Achilles tendon. We have seen catastrophic injuries like this. Rudy Gay in Sacramento, absolutely horrible to watch Rudy Gay tear his Achilles tendon. But I was in Toronto during the NBA Finals when Kevin Durant had the same thing. He had a calf injury. They cleared him to play. They said, go ahead and go out there. It can't get any worse. And it got worse. He took a bad step, and next thing you know, he's on the ground. The Toronto Raptors fans are cheering. Kyle Lowry had to grab the microphone and tell his own fan base to stop cheering an injury. This could have been catastrophic. And look, we're not done with this series.
Right.
Tyrese Haliburton, this calf injury is a 3 to 4, maybe even 5 to 6 week injury. The fact that he's out there, and we know this because the Kings' Trey Lyles had calf injuries twice, and they had to sit him. And it's not just getting healed, it's getting healed and then rebuilding the strength of the calf to support the Achilles tendon.
Well, look at that. Dr. James Ham, he's also an orthopedic surgeon as well. Knows a thing or two about this. Now, James, before we wrap this up, do you have a prediction for Game 7?
No, it's a coin flip. I'm here for it. I am so excited to watch Game 7. I'm super excited for Tyrese Haliburton. There's so many little ties that bind here between, the Sacramento guys, whether it be him or James Johnson's on that Pacers bench. Pascal Siakam could have been a King. All of these things, the near misses, it could have, would have, should have. But this is great basketball. Shout out to Rick Carlisle for coming up with another absolutely spectacular game plan and getting his team to the NBA Finals.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely agree with you, James. If you guys are not watching the series or paying attention to the NBA Finals, get with the program. The good news is there's one more game. You could watch it right here on ABC 10. Game 7 Sunday night right here. In the meantime, James, thank you so much for joining us. You can listen to him on ESPN, 1320 a.m. James, thanks for coming in the building and joining us.
Thanks. Anytime, guys.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, you do not go anywhere because we have your news and weather coming up in 30 seconds.